Now recognize the gentleman from Mississippi, Mr. Guest, for 5 minutes of questions.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. 40 days. For 40 days, 22 federal agencies that fall under the umbrella of the Department of Homeland Security have not received funding from the federal government. Those 22 agencies employ over 260,000 Americans. Let that sink in. Over 250,000 of our federal law enforcement and first responders, many have not received a check in almost now 6 weeks. What has that resulted in? It's resulted in travel delays. In some cases, travel delays in excess of 4 hours. It's resulted in loss to the economy. It's estimated that our economy has lost more than $2.5 billion during this shutdown. And it has made America less safe. So to each of you, I want to apologize that Congress has not been able to fund the agencies for which you work, to fund those individuals who work under you. But I must say, I must push back on the narrative that this is a Republican-created crisis, that this is the Republicans' fault. Chairman Garbarino said that every Republican on this committee has voted twice to fully fund DHS. And I'll tell you that we will have an opportunity later this week to vote a third time to fund DHS. And I am confident that every member here who has voted previously will vote again to pay the men and women of DHS who place themselves in harm's way to keep us safe. If you remember when this shutdown began, this was going to be a temporary shutdown. Democrats said, fund everything but DHS, give us a week, we'll get this worked out. That week has now turned into over 40 days. Democrats said, we don't want to fund the agency until there's change in leadership. So President Trump reassigned Secretary Noem. Yesterday, just yesterday, Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen was sworn in. And Republicans have made that change. Democrats also said, we refuse to fund DHS unless you separate ICE. You separate ICE out of DHS, we'll fund all the other agencies. We'll fund Coast Guard, we'll fund TSA, we'll fund FEMA, we'll fund CISA. And what did we see yesterday? Yesterday, and this is the Hill headline from today, talking about the events of yesterday. Senate Democrats, not Senate Republicans, Senate Democrats reject GOP offer to reopen DHS. The article goes on to say Senate Democrats on Tuesday rejected a new proposal from Senate Republicans endorsed by President Trump to fund almost all the Department of Homeland Security while setting aside some funding for Immigration and Customs Enforcement to end the partial government shutdown that has now stretched at that time 39 days to day 40. And so to my Democratic colleagues, I will tell you it is time for you to stop gaslighting the public. It's time for you to stop lying to the American people. It's time for you to stop saying that this is a Republican issue, that we created this, when we have voted time and time again to fund DHS. That we see in the Senate a proposal was made, a good faith proposal to try to honor the request of the Democrats to separate agencies out except ICE. And we have changed leaderships in DHS by having a new secretary sworn in just yesterday. So the Democrats, which are now the policy of abolishing ICE, now the party of defunding the police, they are also now today, they are the party of government shutdown. And so in the last minute I have questions that I would like just yes or no answers. Again, would like for you to have time to expand, but know that my time is short. Ms. McNeil, have the 60,000 men and women of TSA been paid since the government shutdown began? Yes or no?
They have not.
Mr. Anderson, have the 2,500 employees of CISA been paid since the government shutdown? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Ms. Barton, have the 22,000 employees of FEMA been paid since the government shut down?
No, sir.
Ms. McNeil, has the shutdown impacted your ability to carry out your core mission?
It is getting harder by the day, sir.
Mr. Anderson, same question. Has your mission have it impacted your ability to carry out your mission?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
And Ms. Barton, same question to you.
I see the impacts every day.
Last question as my time expires. Ms. McNeil, is America more or less safe because of this government shutdown?
We are really concerned about our security posture and what the long-term impacts of the shutdown is going to have on the workforce and our ability to carry out the mission.
Mr. Anderson, is America more or less safe because of the shutdown?
The threat environment is too dynamic, sir, to allow this shutdown to continue on.
And Ms. Barton, are we more or less safe because of this shutdown?
We are crippling our disaster response and recovery abilities by the day.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry for being over time, and I yield back.